How did a comic you can read in an hour or two become one of the most banned books in America? Genderqueer by Maia Kobabe is a 2019 graphic novel memoir of the author's life. It focuses on her youth and early adulthood, and specifically on how he navigated coming to terms with being a non-binary person. And yes, I am using he/her pronouns, because even if you think it's silly, my mother raised me right, and I know how to respect people's basic preferences. Kobabe began the project in part as a way of coming out on this aspect of her identity to her parents. And I think that it's worth noting that while the story is absolutely about the difficulties of navigating your identity and coming out, Kobabe's personal circle actually receives her really well, which just goes to show how difficult identity stuff is, even in the best of circumstances. Now, detractors ranging from activist groups to elected officials have lambasted the book for its supposedly adult content, leading it to get pulled from shelves all across the country. So, is this book dangerous? Absolutely. If you, like me, happen to find secondhand cringe very uncomfortable and potentially harmful. Because Kobabe's story is so embarrassing at points, and I really admire how he bared all the messy bits of growing up and their experience. I don't think I'd be half so brave, frankly. But in terms of some other imaginary threat, well, I read it and I think I'm still a straight white guy. We'll see. As for the adult content, that's pretty much a nothing burger in my opinion. The 1 or 2 adult pages are a microscopic percentage of the total text, and frankly they're clinical, not titillating. They're used to convey the difficulties Kobabe has faced navigating a relationship to her body and sexuality. Now, Kobabe has said in interviews that this book isn't for everyone, but respectfully, I think I actually disagree. The fact is, while this book only highlights the author's individual journey, non-binary people, bisexual people, people on the ace or the aro spectrum, they're out there. You're going to encounter them in your daily life. And there aren't that many useful, widespread introductions to their experience, which means that I think this is a great book to brush up on if you want to better understand the people in the world around you. Needless to say, I can only imagine how particularly useful it would be for young people navigating the same questions that Kobabe has faced. Now, one of the issues with book bans is that bad actors will frequently make these hyperbolic claims about what is appropriate to be read by whom and when. I happen to think it's a fine conversation. It's just one that teachers and librarians should lead in good faith. So no, I wouldn't hand this book to a kindergartner and send them on their merry way, but the school library journal rates it for grades 9 and up, and Common Sense Media suggests ages 16 and up. Trust me, there's nothing in this book that high schoolers aren't encountering in 100 more salacious ways each and every single day, and if you're curious, I really suggest giving it a try. And if you have any thoughts on this book or another banned book that you want me to highlight, shout them out in the comments. But if you want to share some bad faith take about how awful this book is, I expect your comment to indicate 1, that you have read it, and 2, that you can adequately explain what exactly is wrong with it. See you next time.